So I'm going to kick it off here in 2 seconds, and we'll start rolling. So hopefully, Carter, you available? You ready to roll? We're going to assume he is. Let's go. Hey, everybody. Thank you so much for joining the webinar. As you know, today we're going to be discussing the banks and the bank programs. So we have some very distinguished guests that are going to be joining us, and just to touch on the entire series and the reason why we're doing it. This year is going to be absolutely unprecedented. We're seeing a ton of stuff that we've never seen before. It's coming at us fast and furious. And we really want to keep you guys on the front end of what's going on and just up to date. And so as we're learning and discovering information, a lot of which comes through our valued partners, our software partners, and our banking partners, we want to make you aware. So one of the questions that we're getting a ton of right now is about the software development. Those of you that use the online Pro Web product, you've seen that that's already rolled forward for the next year. So they're on the front end of that. We're out early. With that, we also have the application for remote signature and remote data capture that is going to be coming out, the phone application. And so we've been getting a lot of inquiries about that, and we will have that out for you as well. We're probably, as soon as it's live, we'll be throwing out another webinar and doing a training on that. We're testing the Android portion of that today and tomorrow, and it will be, and then the phone apps will be pushing to the respective stores, whether it's Google Play or iTunes, so you can download them and start practicing and getting your preparers familiar. And we'll be getting training videos and materials out for that as well. But this webinar we're trying to keep at an hour. We have our 4 amazing banking partners on with us, and we're so thankful that they've agreed to join us and really just provide us their information directly from them, as opposed to us trying to interpret it and push it out to you guys. So I don't want to take a ton of time. Again, we're trying to keep it to an hour. First up, we have Carter Dempsey. He is the VP of Operations and Strategy from Refundo. And at this point, Carter, I'm going to try to make you the presenter, and then I'm going to shut up. So let me kick this over to you. Carter, you there?
Yeah, I'm.
Perfect.
Do you guys see my screen?
We do. Yes, sir. Looking good. Take it away, Carter.
All right. Hello, everybody. Thank you for Rightway for having us today. We're excited to be a part of Rightway, and we hope that this season is great for everybody. I know we're certainly looking forward to it. We saw a series of questions that wanted to be addressed at a minimum, so let's get started. Refundo is a bank product program that started in 2011, basically with the idea in mind to innovate and expand the landscape of the industry. Essentially, we want to talk about some of the basic items that would be of interest to all of you guys, starting off with the refund transfer. Our fee is $34.95 for the Fed, $10 for the state. When the RT is selected uniquely, that is that the advance has not been applied for, direct deposit, check, Walmart direct to cash are available options for the taxpayer to receive their refund. However, we do have something called check select. So basically, when you enroll, you have the ability to choose from the check stock of either Capital One, BBT, Bank of the West, and BBVA Compass. These different options are something that you choose on the basis for what particular branch may be available to you in your location. Of course, Walmart is an option as well. There are low-cost and flat-fee check cashing options nationwide. It varies depending on where in the nation and the branch locations. We can certainly visit with you independently to discuss what that might be in your area for the bank that you would choose to use. If you have any questions on this, just hit them up at the end. But basically, when you enroll and have been accepted, you choose your check stock at the time that your enrollment is complete, and those are shipped to you with the outside of the initial marketing kit that ships. The advance. Refundo brought the advance back 2 years ago. I know arguably, Jermaine probably argue with me about that, but we brought the advance back 2 years ago, and this year we are back with the now advance. Our taxpayer advances are $500 and $1,000. The refund thresholds determine eligibility. We do not have pre-qualification criteria that we provided to the software, as all advances are reviewed independently, and there is exception processing. So basically, in order to be eligible for the $1,000 advance, to submit that application for Refundo for review, you just have to meet the refund threshold for eligibility in order to submit the application at that amount. If your refund is within a lower threshold, then you'd be able to apply for the 500, or your taxpayer would. And the higher threshold is 1,000, and that's something that we can discuss offline as well as to what those may be. Currently, the advance of $500 is at $35, and the $1,000 is to be announced. We did a little reworking with that, and we will announce that here shortly, but we wanted to make sure that it was competitive to have a high approval rating while also being a reasonable fee. As you know, with the taxpayer advances, there's no interest, no hidden fees, 0% funny business. It's a non-recourse advance provided to the taxpayer. We want to empower taxpayers to be financially independent. With the days of the rouse gone, we know that the advance serves as a marketing tool more than anything else to acquire taxpayers. And for that reason, not just to cater to your previous book of business, we are allowing first-year EROs and taxpayers to be eligible for the now advance. The advance itself is only available by check this year. If in the instance the advance is applied for, then the subsequent refund transfer is only available by check or direct deposit. So let me explain briefly. If you only apply for a refund transfer, then checks, direct deposits, and Walmart direct to cash. If you apply for the advance, it's only eligible on the check, and the subsequent refund transfer is only available by check or direct deposit, not Walmart direct to cash. As I said before, we have no pre-qualification criteria to provide it to the software, as the advances are reviewed independently. So essentially, we're not providing to you deal killers that will keep a taxpayer from getting the advance, as we have a pretty sophisticated model where we're trying not to eliminate on the basis with a broad stroke to say that you're not eligible because you have a Schedule C attached to your return or something along those lines. Some of the additional features that we have a dashboard in which you, the ERO, and anybody on your team can access, which we allow you to provide controls to different members of your team. You have an administrative role, and then you have additional roles that will allow people to see limited items based on what you choose for the people in your office. The dashboard also provides the ability to see your unfunded, funded apps, the applications in real time, reporting. We also provide guides to show how to, within the tax software, to complete the bank product return, and some additional forms to help you as well. We do accept credit card payments. We have a built-in credit card processing system with no monthly fees. It's just 2.9% plus 30 cents per successful transaction. We also have a mobile application. The next screen will show what that looks like a little more clearly, where you can access the dashboard anytime or anywhere with the mobile app version. It's available on your desktop, phone, or tablet via Google or the Apple Store. This year, we will be masking the social to some extent to deal with some of the security issues associated with that, and the functionality is not quite as extensive as the physical dashboard on the desktop as opposed to the mobile application. Also, something that was added into your software last year that some EROs take advantage of and see value in is called pre-authorized debit, or PAD. So you have your tax preparation fees that you charge the taxpayer, but you also have the ability with a different form that exists outside of the taxpayer application, bank application, to collect additional fees up to $800 for repayment of additional services. It runs parallel to the bank application, and it is an option for you in your software. In order to utilize this, you would just want to make Rightway aware, and they could relay that to us in order to unlock that feature within your software. If you have any additional questions about that, you may want to catch offline, as the situations varies for what is termed as additional services. The Dash, the mobile app, basically when you log in, you're in your password. If you notice from the screenshot in the middle, you can kind of set it to show either within the past week, the 3 months, or a year, to show the amount of apps funded, submitted, and the funding percentage. You can also view each taxpayer independently, or to show the amount of checks ready to print or that have been printed. It also does have limited reporting within the function, or within the application. And if you look over on the far right-hand side, if you were looking at an example application of a taxpayer, as I said, we'll mask the social, but it'll provide information associated with that taxpayer along with an image down below that shows where they actually were located, which is pretty interesting. A couple other things we provide but are not supported at this time through your software is the Connect, which is similar to the tool I believe he was talking about, where you have your own mobile app and can track taxpayers from non-traditional channels, expand your reach to nearby taxpayers, and it is customizable within your office branding. Scan and upload documents, and data is imported in your software, and chat with your clients from within the app. As I said, not supported in your software this year, but it is one of Refundo's products. And then we also have an audit protection software that's also not supported in the software, but we do provide audit assistance and keep track of audit resolutions in real time within our dashboard, and that's the $44.95 with incentives. Some of the additional questions that were asked but not answered in the previous part of the presentation is that the preparer fees are limited to $1,100 programmatically within your software, but the PAD does account for an additional $800. We do have something called funded verify exceptions. So if you have a taxpayer for which the fees may exceed $1,100, we will accept a signed application with a reasonable explanation to exceed the $1,100. For instance, I've done the past 3 years of their returns this year, so my fees exceed $1,100. We would ask that you send in the signed application by the taxpayer in order to determine if you're eligible to charge that fee. There are a variety of reasons that are acceptable, but you will not be able to submit an application through your tax software greater than $1,100. We do a free initial shipment of marketing materials upon enrollment beginning in December, and then additional marketing materials can be ordered from the Refundo dashboard once enrollment is complete. We can get some slicks over to Rightway to provide to you for the different marketing samples we have for you to see as well. We are not supporting debit cards in the 2016-2017 season, and we are not supporting the ERO advances in the 2016 or 2017 either. And that's all I had for you. Are there any questions?
We would have to monitor those via the chat, and you were right on the money, even with my introduction, Carter. Well done in terms of time management and everything else, man. Good job.
Thanks. I had a timer going next to me, so I tried.
Oh, did you? Oh, well, you're smarter than myself, so good job. So in terms of the order of presentation, honestly, we just ask that the banks respond to the email of us asking them to participate, and that's the order that they'll be presenting in. So Carter was Johnny on the spot, quick draw McGraw, and he replied first, and so he got the #1 slot. Next to go is Mr. Brad Cowie. of TPG. He is, I don't know how many positions you've held in that organization, but I believe your current position is that of CFO, and we sure are excited to have you. So I'm going to switch this over, Brad, and make you the presenter. And we should be seeing your screen now. Thank you so much for joining us, Brad.
Do you see it?
Well, you're coming up here. We got your voice coming through clear, and your screen's yet to pop on my side, but.
Okay, just a second here.
Yep. There we go. We got you.
Okay. Well, thank you very much. I appreciate the opportunity. Officially, my title for TPG is President and Chief Operating Officer. I'll admit I'm not the salesperson or the sales background as some of my esteemed peers on the phone today, but I'll try and walk you through our program. Again, I appreciate Jeremy, Mark, and Brian giving us the opportunity to present and the partnership that we have with Rightway. Okay, not getting movement here. Mine's not advancing here.
You're good. So just as a side note, if you guys do have questions, please go ahead and submit those through, I believe it's the chat functionality, or actually is that the question section? Yeah. So go ahead and submit those over, and please specify who you're wanting them to be directed to, so we can enable them and direct them correctly. And it looks like, Brad, you're ready to rock.
Yeah, you bet. So, our approach to providing products and services this season was really to empower EROs. So to give you products and services that bring more customers into your office, deliver an exceptional customer experience, and make for an efficient process, because we know that the EROs are busy trying to prepare as many tax returns as possible and get the customers through as quickly as possible. So some of the things that we provide this year, and we thought it was important given the extraordinary circumstances that Jeremy alluded to at the beginning, is more capital for you to start and run your business. We want to assist you and the taxpayer with cash flow needs that we think are going to be more critical this upcoming season. So we've got larger cash advances for your clients. We've managed to bring those in at a lower cost to you as an ERO. One thing that we think is a very vital component of our offering is the national marketing muscle that our association with Green Dot brings. We've built in some cash incentives this year that we didn't have in the past. We've also introduced a low-priced RT option and added some convenient disbursement options, and I'll walk through some of those now. I won't take a long time on PATH Act. I think everybody's familiar with it. And Jeremy, while you didn't mention this specifically, we think that this will be the driving force that alters the experience and the performance of this tax season.
We're doing our next webinar actually on Thursday, not to make a shameless plug, why not, is going to be specifically on all of these elements. So, yeah, we're going to be hitting on it. Thank you, Brad.
Yeah. So just quickly, refunds, now by law, by the PATH Act, by law, certain refunds, specifically those that have an EITC credit or a child care credit, cannot be paid till after February 15th. We've talked to the IRS. It may be extended even a few days, and that's going to impact the cash flow for both the tax preparer, specifically those who are collecting their fees out of the RT, and the taxpayer. So we put a lot of our effort this season into making some cash flow solutions available to the EROs and the taxpayers. We have a pre-season advance that is up to $18,000 for tax pros. That money will be available on December 1st, so that's for you to use to help you purchase software, office startup expenses, occupancy, if you have some early season payroll. We think that this will help you get your season started very strongly. As you move into the tax season, we have an in-season advance that is up to $150,000 for tax pros. That'll be available the very first day of filing. The opt-ins are available now, though, so as you come to enroll, make sure you opt in. We think that capital will be scarce and there'll be a high demand for it, so we would encourage people to enroll early, get locked in for that, the cash you might need to help you with the season. I prepared a chart here that shows what volume levels will qualify you for these advance amounts. I'll provide that to Rightway directly, and they can keep that for you. As far as the cash advance, our cash advance to the customer this year is up to $1,000. The ERO fee is only $25, and the advance can be issued by check or Green Dot card. Last year, we exclusively offered the advance on Green Dot card, but there is a demand for the check, and so this year, the check option is available. Another enhancement that we made is that the advance is a single-step, fully integrated process for both enrollment of the ERO and the taxpayer. Last year, it was a two-step process, so we think that this will create a lot more efficiency and a lot better user experience for your clients this year. As I spoke to earlier, we think that there is a tremendous advantage available by leveraging the marketing muscle of Green Dot Corporation. Green Dot has a footprint of over 7 million customers. Green Dot cards will be promoted through the tax season. The national spokesman is Steve Harvey, and just to say that it'll be obvious and conspicuous that Green Dot has special options for the tax season, and we think that'll drive more customers into your office. We also have free downloads available for you as you design your own marketing campaigns for your office. We have a free direct mail postcards that we'll send out for your customers, and we have a marketing kit that'll be shipped to you at the time of enrollment, which includes a lot of things to get your office up and running and have a lot of things that we think will attract customers. This year, we are offering a $10 rebate for every refund that is issued on the card. So if your taxpayer does choose to have their refund on the card, you will receive $10 per transaction. That will be paid on the fly or periodically, so weekly instead of at the end of the season, so that should get some more cash into your hands quickly. We're also having a $5,000 sweepstake for EROs weekly. So each week, one ERO will win $5,000. Entries are based on volume production, so you get an entry for every RT that you produce. You get an additional entry for every card. We have our price points on the RT this year. The standard RT is $39.95. The low-priced RT, which is available on a Green Dot card, is $29.95, and the state option is $10. The disbursement options we offer are check, of course, the Green Dot card, Walmart direct to cash. That is a $7 fee. I think most of the other competitors have the same disbursement options. Check cashing options, Walmart will cash up to $7,500 for $6 fee. Wells Fargo will do up to $9,500 for a $10 fee. And we have a bunch of other national arrangements with check cashers, but too many to list here. one of the issues last year I know we had operationally was with the remote check printing, and I wanted to just make it clear to the preparers out there that we have streamlined the user experience for remote check printing. We redesigned, or we actually went to a new software platform. Admittedly, our old software platform was somewhat archaic, so the design and architecture has completely been modified to promote a better user experience and to be more user-friendly. We also have created some enhanced transparency and reporting with our remote check printing, so it'll be easier for you to tell what you have printed, what is pending to print, what is out there, what is still in the hopper. So that's, I want to go to the Q&A. These are the questions specifically posed by Jeremy. So can new eFins offer taxpayer loans with your bank? The answer is yes. We will do a volume verification for EROs that are new to TPG, not new to the industry, but that's all that has to be accomplished. Is the ERO? We just need to verify that you have in fact participated in the industry in the past. If you have multi-office stores or somebody that is new to the industry that you want to get into the program, there are opportunities. It's on an exception basis, and there is a way, though, for those people to participate in the program. The deal killers for the taxpayer advance are limited, but there are a few, and those are Forms 888, 1310, 1040X, and 1040 SS. Prep fee limitations, we don't have any hard caps. We do monitor tax prep fees for sound business purposes. We look at the overall prep fees of your entire line of business. If we find any anomalies, our first step will be to contact you, and if it's for sound business practices, meaning that it's due to the complexity of the return or the complexity of the relationship with the customer, you know, then no further action required. Do we offer debit cards? Yes, and all EROs that choose to participate will be allowed to do instant issue Green Dot cards. Green Dot has a process where every customer is given the ability to do instant issue cards. The EROs, the customers, I'm sorry, and the customers will automatically be sent a personalized card. So a customer actually gets two cards, one being the instant issue at the time they're in the office, and then another personalized one that's automatically sent to their address of record. Preseason advances we've covered. Loan amounts, $1,000, $750, and $500. The price to the ERO is $25, but if you do the advance or the pre-fund on the card, the net cost to you is effectively $15. Our standard RT fee is $39.95 this year, as I said, $29.95 for those on a Green Dot card, and $10 for the state. We do have check cashing relationships, or we do have a disbursement option, Walmart direct to cash, of course, check and debit card. And the check cashing relationships, our two largest national providers are Walmart and Wells Fargo, but we have quite a few other outlets, national check cashing franchises, supermarkets, and others. Marketing materials, we think we have a very robust marketing kit that we provide for each office at the time of enrollment. That can be augmented with free downloads, and there is other material available for purchase. So that is a summary of our program. I guess we won't be able to do a live Q&A here, but I appreciate again the opportunity to talk to all of you, and hope we have a all of us have a great season, make the tax industry strong, and just have a terrific 2017.
Awesome, Brad. Thank you so much for the material, and you are spot on as far as time as well. Jeez, like you guys practiced beforehand. Thank you very much. So next we've got Jermaine Sharon from Republic Bank. They're new to the fold in terms of them being available through Rightway. So Jermaine, I'm going to make you the presenter here in a second once I figure out how to do it again. There we go. And we should be looking at your screen here shortly. And I need to unmute you. Maybe not. Maybe just flip through the slides and leave you muted. Just kidding. All right. Jermaine, you there?
Yeah, just give me the go-ahead when my Republic Bank screen is up.
Well, it's 10:32. We got you. We can see your screen.
Fantastic.
And rock and roll, buddy.
Thank you so much to the Rightway folks for having Republic Bank here. We look forward to a wonderful relationship. Thank you guys for your time. I first wanted to start off with, just briefly that Republic Bank is an actual bank with, retail locations. We do, normal accounts and savings account, checkings account, mortgages, all that other good stuff. We're located in 5 states, and we've been here in the tax business for over 17 tax seasons. And I just think that's important to know that who you're dealing with, one, is, an actual bank. These are some of the topics that I'd like to talk to you about today, starting off with our refund transfer. We call our Refund-Advantage the Easy Advance. We're going to talk about some tax office credit programs. We're going to talk about some of the things that we do to help support tax offices, check cashing options, available disbursement methods, and then we'll kind of go through some of the other questions. There was a list of questions that the folks at Rightway wanted us to address, and most of them are actually contained within the presentation itself. So let's just start with our core refund transfer. The refund transfer is $39 for the Fed, $10 for the state. That's pretty standard throughout the industry there, and there's not a lot more to say beyond that. However, our refund advance, we actually think is kind of, once again, being a bank, we think that our refund advance or easy advance is kind of what separates us from the market. In most cases throughout the entire industry, you'll have a big banner that says, $1 amount, but potentially, your customer could receive a different amount. From our perspective, we are telling you and your customer upfront how much the customer is going to qualify for. So our easy advance is very simple. If the refund minus fees is greater than $2,500, then the amount that the taxpayer qualifies for is a $1,250 advance. If the refund minus fees is between $1,100 and $2,500, then the amount that they qualify for is an $800 advance. Your software will automatically do that calculation up front for you, so that when you print our bank product application, it will tell them right there. Instead of wondering what's going on, when you print the bank product application, it's going to tell the taxpayer you're applying for a $1,250 advance, or you're applying for an $800 advance. We think that's important because the strength behind the bank tells you directly from those numbers that if you look at your customer base, you can tell right from the door, not who's going to be approved or who's not, but you can tell that we're trying to give 75 to 80% of your customers the full $1,250 advance, and that is the most aggressive advance inside the marketplace. I will say that the advance is available to first-time EROs, regardless of whether you've got bank product experience, whether or not you've been in the tax industry, whether or not you're going out on your own for the first time. It's available to any office that is approved with Republic Bank, and I think that's going to be a theme that that you're going to find throughout the entire presentation, is that our perspective is, once we've underwritten and approved your office, you're basically available to offer all of our products and services. It is available in all 50 states. And most importantly, there is one application for both the RT and the Refund-Advantage. It's available in any disbursement type. We do have a prepaid division, but we're trying to cater to your service, to your business. So from that perspective, what we're saying is that if your customer prefers a check, it doesn't matter to us. If your customer prefers direct deposit, doesn't matter to us. If your customer prefers a prepaid card or Walmart direct to cash, it doesn't matter to us. Whatever works best for your business, we're okay with, because we're not as concerned with the residual revenue as we are catering to your customer for this product or service that they're applying for.
Not to interrupt you, Jermaine. Not to interrupt you, but I will, because we had a question come through that you said all 50 states. That includes Illinois?
That includes Illinois, absolutely.
Meaning that they're one of the 50 states?
They are one of the 50 states, but that was actually a very important question, because Republic Bank was actually the only provider last year to provide advances in the state of Illinois. So I think that was I know I said 50, and it seemed like a repetitive question, but if you are in that state, that was actually a phenomenal question.
Yes.
Like every other advance, thank you, Jeremy. Like every other advance, there is no collection activity. It's no recourse to the taxpayer. And of course, you will receive the approval as soon as we get minutes after we get the IRS acknowledgement. If you're familiar with how the IRS works, about a week before the IRS officially opens, they do what's called hub testing, which is where they send back acknowledgments on live returns that have been stockpiled. Even when we get those acknowledgments, we will begin sending back approvals. Tax office credit product number one is the receivables assistance. Receivables assistance is essentially where we will advance a tax office 50% of their tax prep fees up to any amount. So if you have an extremely large office and you may be doing, 2,000 to 3,000 early season tax returns, my one single office that did the most in this receivables assistance did $270,000, and that was just one of his offices. And that is in approved wrap money that went out the door. So from our perspective, we are not necessarily capping you. We are doing the wrap product for a certain amount of time, and whatever bank products you do in that time, we will advance 50% of your wrap fees. You will just need to, and once again, once you're approved for our program, you're authorized to opt into this. So you basically just go into our website once you're approved and opt into the product. There is a 2% fee, which is not much. It's just $20 for every $1,000 advance. And repayment doesn't start until after the IRS starts funding. Instead of collecting 100% of your fees when the IRS funds, we actually only collect 50%. We do that for a couple of weeks, and then because we don't want to move your cash flow issues from the end of January to the beginning of February, so we collect 50% of your prep fees until just before the IRS is releasing all of the PATH Act money, and then we'll move to 100% to ensure that we're paid back. And once again, this is available to first-time EROs. Other products that we do, other services that we provide, we offer the taxpayer updates. And the main thing here is that rather than having an external service, we can actually, within the bank product application, so if your customer is getting the prepaid card or if they're getting the Walmart direct to cash, they have to provide us some way to contact them. Meaning a text message. But even your customer who picks up checks, instead of having to call them, you don't know whether it's not $19.99 where every Thursday you're going to be printing those checks. You really don't have any idea when things are going to be funded. With this right here, you can actually, your taxpayer can just opt into it, and then when the money comes in, we don't even send out the text message then. We wait until after you printed the check, and then from there we send out the text message. And within that, even if you're printing checks at night and you don't want to send out the text message until tomorrow, you can actually delay the text messages in 1 hour increments up to 24 hours. And once again, that's no cost to you, no cost to the taxpayer other than standard message, text message data rates. We also have an ERO, a taxpayer mobile site for them, so that when their information comes in, they can find check cashing options. They can find the status of their refund transfer or their refund advance. We have a mobile app for you, the ERO. It gives you things very similar to what it is that Carter referenced earlier. In the interest of time, I won't go through all of the specifics there, but I think the most important thing there is because there is inconsistency with what day you print a lot of checks, the most important thing is that it tells you at 9 o'clock in the morning how many checks you'll be printing at 4 o'clock Eastern time this evening. So I think it allows you to set an expectation with how you manage your office as far as giving out checks. We have other things within our website. I will say with the Walmart Direct-to-Cash, we will also, new this year, we will actually be providing you information so that if your customer loses their text message, you can help them out with that. We do provide marketing. With the exception of our banner, all of our marketing is free. You receive an initial marketing kit automatically. If you want more, that is free as well. You are not charged for marketing unless you order a third set of marketing or if you want the banner. But your initial order and a reorder are both free. Here are some samples of the banner, of the poster. Here's another poster. We also provide postcards if you'd like them, Post-its. So you can certainly just go to our website and ensure that you get whatever it is that you need. And many of these things are available in English and in Spanish. If you do decide to do your own marketing, i.e. commercials, radios, banners that reference bank products, we do ask that you send them into the bank. As it relates to check cashing, we are one of the unique providers out here where if you actually have a Wells Fargo near you, you can actually request that we give you, instead of Republic Bank check stock, you can request that we print on you print on Wells Fargo check stock, and we will send you that. And they cash up to $8,000 for $7.50. They cash Republic checks for $5,000 for $10. And we also have a lot of local bank check cashing relationships, and you can go to our website and find out more about that. Or we can actually work with you to establish a check cashing relationship with someone else. We have the standard Walmart check cashing, which is pretty standard throughout the industry. NetSpend cards, the one thing that I want to mention here, everyone has a prepaid card, so I don't want to go too far on this. I think the most important thing is that, once again, it's available to first-time EROs, and two, I think that with so many taxpayers getting funding around the same time, it may help with the process of your office of seeing new customers if less of your customers had to come back to pick up a check. Once again, if this is something that's interesting to you, we charge nothing for the card. For the shipping of the card, you can certainly order those. Walmart Direct-to-Cash, that is where your taxpayer can get a text message where they can go to Walmart and pick up the cash. There is a one-time $7 fee, which means that $7 fee is assessed at the time of the bank product. When they get to Walmart, they do not pay anything else. And what's important there is if they have a federal refund, and then they have a state refund, and then they have a refund advance, that $7 fee is actually only assessed one time. And I think that's important. Some of our highlights, once again, just to kind of recap, is that no minimum volume requirements. New offices are welcome for all of our products that we offer, products and services. As it relates to upfront details regarding the advance, clearly there are the things that we all know. Form 8888, you can't be splitting your refund. You can't be doing an extension. We don't do it in Puerto Rico, so you can't be filing a 1040 SS. But I did just want to tell you the software will actually stop you from submitting those applications. There are a couple where the software will not stop you, but greater than likely, you will not get approval. And those two things are, if the taxpayer has Schedule C, there should be some verifiable income along with it. So if the refund is 100% Schedule C, the greater likelihood is that advance will not be approved. There should either be a W-2 or a 1099. The second thing is there should at least be $1 of refund from withholding. Once we get across those things, pretty much most of your customers have a pretty good shot at getting approved. We expect to have somewhere around an 80% approval with our advance, and I think if you stay away from those areas, everything should be good. Thank you guys so much. I hope I met the time frame there. And thanks again. If you got any questions, give us a call at 866-676-888. 676-2056. That's 888-676-2056. Thank you guys so much.
Was that your personal cell phone, Jermaine?
Absolutely.
No.
888.
Well, you went like 33 seconds over, so, you know, got to dock you 2 points for that, but I'm just kidding. Great job, dude. Thank you so much for participating. I think the other banks were wanting to make sure that everybody knew as well that they also are going to do Illinois. So I'll just put that plug out there for them. That seemed to be a big hitter in terms of the questions and the texts that I received here from attendees that said, oh, great, Illinois, yay. So everybody else wanted to chime in on that as well. So last but not least, apparently not as quick on the draw when it comes to checking his email, is Kenny Fox from Refund-Advantage. I'm going to switch it over to him. He did text me that he's having challenges with, I'm reading his message. Yep, he's got some technical issues. So I'm not sure what we're going to see when I click over to his computer, but I'm going for it anyway. It may just be blank. And I need to unmute him here so that he can then share with us his knowledge. Kenny, where are you? There you are. Kenny, yep. You here?
I'm unmuted, but I'm on my cell phone, so I'm having issues with my telephone as well as computer. So
your
I'm going to go ahead
down?
and try. No, my computer's not down. I think it's just I've had the director of IT in here, and I am not able to.
You want to email me your Rezo? Real quick?
I'm good. I'll just go through the questions and the points that we have right here. I also have Margie Barrico here, the sales manager. So,
hey, Margie.
All right. That's something.
How are you, Jeremy?
Very good. Thank you.
And you can hear me okay on the cell phone?
Yeah, you sound great.
Great. Awesome. I'm just going to go through and start with the questions that you had and the RT pricing for 2017. Our RT pricing for 2017 remains the same as it was last year. It's $35 for the first refund, $12 for the second. We felt that we would keep that at the same price as last year just to not upset current customers as well as new customers coming on board. The taxpayer advance is a little different this year than last year. We have a 3-tiered cash advance similar to other banks. Our cash advance, though, is consumer driven. So what happens is if the consumer is eligible for the higher tier, we will show that higher tier to them, and that high tier is $1,200. If they don't qualify for the $1,200, they'll be automatically re-underwritten for our next tier, which is $800. And if they don't qualify meeting that criteria, we have the last tier of $500 that they will be underwritten for. So what our goal here is to try to get as many people out the door with some cash in their hands. The criteria for all 3 tiers, of course, is a little bit different. We have some in-house proprietary data that we use. We use some public data as well, but the $1,200 tier is $45 ERO cost. The $800 tier is $35. The $500 tier is $25. and that's our taxpayer advance. The taxpayer advance can be dispersed in multiple ways. It can go on a prepaid card that we have. It can go by check, and then the subsequent cash advance can go on prepaid card or check, and that's chosen by the consumer. We do have office startups. We have pre-season, similar to other banks. The pre-season we do not have capped. What we do, if it's a new ERO and they are qualified for taxpayer advances as well as the startup advances and the pre-season advances, we actually ask for their funding report if they have one. If they don't have the funding report, we use public data that we get and load into our proprietary system here at Refund-Advantage. We send them through the system, and they can get anywhere from $2,000 for a software advance all the way up to a portion of their fully funded RTs and fees from the previous year if it's a returning ERO. We do have one program that is coupled with our prepaid card program. It's called the Loyalty Rewards Program, and this program is quite unique. We actually implemented this last year, and we made a few changes and some positive changes, and we're going to provide it again this year. The Loyalty Prepaid Card Program is a program that you can provide to taxpayers pre-season before the acknowledgement is received. So it's a advance, basically, working off the ERO advance, and those cards are available in $25, $50, and $100 amounts. Most of our EROs use this loyalty card program as a referral tool, meaning that if some of their loyalty customers come in and if they bring another new taxpayer to the office, they can give them a prepaid loaded card for $25, $50, or $100. And it was quite a success last year. Like I said, we made a few internal changes here, but the amounts pretty much stay the same, and most of our EROs that were eligible and participated in that are very happy with that. And again, that can be used pre-season as well as in season. You can use it as a referral tool. Our fee assist program is similar to others that have a fee assist program in season. We process and we provide 50% of the tax prep fees advanced on acknowledgement up to $300 per taxpayer. So the program is extended through 2017. It's got an extended payback time, and we're loaning out more money. So in order to help with the PATH Act and all of its implications, we're loaning out a little bit more money, and we're taking a lot more time to pay it back. Similar to other banks in the industry, we're very sensitive to the PATH Act and what that's going to be as an impact on the industry itself. Our overall amounts per office, like I said, are going up, and when the IRS releases funds, that's when we'll start, the 15th, that's when we'll start recovering the amounts that we've advanced. We do have marketing materials and free marketing materials to all EROs that are active in our system. We have the RT advertising poster and tabletop displays, taxpayer advance posters, loyalty rewards posters, and banners, window treatments. All those go out in the December shipment with their check stock, prepaid card stock, and anything that they've ordered besides what we provide for free. One thing that I did want to go ahead and go through is the questions that Jeremy did send for all the banks to answer. We are going to be providing taxpayer advances loans to new EROs as well as new taxpayers. We underwrite every ERO and taxpayer that comes into our system, but yes, all new EROs will be underwritten, and we take into account both public and proprietary data that we use to underwrite those EROs and taxpayers. I did want to share a little bit of the, as Jeremy put it, deal killers on the taxpayer advance. We call them eligibility or disqualifiers. Automatically disqualify the taxpayer from the loan itself. And
Deal
just to
killers.
throw a few of deal killers, exactly. And just to throw a few of them out there, and this is, this is public knowledge basically. And I think Brad mentioned a few of the forms as well. But, first of all, the primary taxpayer or secondary taxpayer, if married, has to be 18 years of age or older. And I think everybody in the industry basically keys off that. We do not provide a loan to taxpayers if it is an on active duty status in the military. I think everyone should take note of that, because we, and I think other banks, do not provide loans to active duty military individuals. A few other things that we have in our code that are basic common knowledge is the taxpayer, the SSN cannot be deceased, and that's where we're trying to, eliminate fraud there. The expected federal refund amount minus all fees is $500 or less, and that's minus all fees. And the expected federal refund amount is less than $800. So that's a good number and a good process to keep, right up front, just in case someone's refund amount does not meet that criteria. You won't have to have any negative response if you send it up and they get declined. And again, like Brad was saying, the forms 1310, 8888, 1040X, 1040SS, those forms. And that's a little bit of the deal killers that are out front that would keep the taxpayer from actually getting a loan if they came in. On the tax preparer fees limitations questions, our set fee limitation is at $1,600. It's been lower than that. We've worked with many tax preparers across the nation, and we have found that in our surveys that we get back that they would like to see that a little bit higher. And I think Carter spoke to that, and a few others, that we try to work as hard as we can with preparers in case they have other items or products that they're collecting for through the tax prep fee. So that is $1,600. The EROs that are working with us also get the instant issue cards. That's all we deal with in the very beginning. So we send those out with their marketing materials, and they're all instant issue cards. We do as well, after the taxpayer is dispersed an instant issue card, we will send them out a personalized card for their use, and it's actually welcomed a little bit easier within the marketplace when the name is actually on the card. So I think a lot of our banking partners, competition does that as well. So I just already talked about the EROs preseason and in season, and the qualifications and the payments. We talked about the loan amounts, the base RT fees. We don't work with the direct to cash from Walmart. We've had similar experiences with trying to work out partnerships with other companies, and the direct to cash from surveys that we've done with our customers that have worked with that particular product have not been very happy with it over the last couple of years. So we're giving a little time to, ferment a little bit, and then we will look into that, to adding that. Unfortunately, that was not on the priority list this year with us, so we are not having direct to cash as a disbursement type for 2016, 2017. We do have the direct deposit, the check, and the prepaid card, however, so good to go there. The check cashing agreements, we also have, like others in the industry and in our competition, other banks have the agreement with Walmart. We also work with 7-Eleven and some of the also known retailers and gas stations. Work with Kmart. We work with Payomatic in the New York area, which is a huge help for us in the New York area for check cashing. And different grocery stores like Piggly Wiggly, Safeway, and your Speedway, which is a gas station. So we do have check cashing agreements available there. And I think I've answered all the questions that, Jeremy, you have proposed to all the banks, and I may even be a little bit early on. Well, I think I hit it right on the dot. So
yeah,
that's
close enough.
And Jeremy, thank you, Mark and Brian, for inviting us. We really appreciate that. Sorry for my technical difficulties here, but we'll get those fixed up. And if anyone needs to talk to either Margie or myself, they can either give us a call or go directly through you.
Sweet. Well, we, again, super appreciate the participation of each of our banking partners, Carter from Refundo, Brad from TPG, Jermaine from Republic, and Kenny and Margie from Refund-Advantage. Again, the purpose of these webinars and the series of webinars is just to keep you guys in the know of what's going on with this upcoming tax season. There's a lot of craziness, a lot of first-time things, and things that are coming back around. So we just want everybody to know what's up and be on the same page and just have a platform by which we can communicate en masse. So on a side note, we are going to be recording all of these. This one is recorded. It will be distributed with a follow-up email along with all of the collateral and slides that I presume Refund-Advantage will send me as well. I'm just kidding. So that we can then distribute those as well, and you can revisit them and review them and get up on your bank knowledge. So thank you so much, everybody, for attending. On Thursday, we will be covering the PATH Act in detail, kind of the who, what, when, where, why, and what now, meaning what are the opportunities that it presents. If you saw my screen at the beginning of the webinar, which I'm going to take back presenting, I would invite you to go and visit this website. Let me see, screen 2. Go ahead and go to defendmyid.com/partner and just go ahead and browse that. That's something we're going to be talking about in our third webinar as a part of, again, a unique product offering that Rightway is bringing to enhance your guys' ability to attract new customers and increase your revenues. So thank you so much, and we sincerely appreciate your participation and the opportunity to work with you. So I'm going to go ahead and kill the webinar, and thank you guys again very, very much. Have a great day, everyone. Talk to you soon.